So what are we doing, Andrew?
Okay, so for level 3s this year, we wanted to try something different. Since it's project development or cost estimating on building a project, we decided to divide the class into 2 groups or 2 companies. So they came up with, they both came up with their own company names and logos with their own group. At the beginning of the class, they all got their folders, which lists all the job roles. So there's 6 people in each group. There's 6 positions in this company, and each week a different person rotates into a different position. So we start with, actually we go up on the board and look, we start with one person the first week is a general manager who oversees. Myself, I'm the customer. So as the customer, I'm presenting these 2 companies with a project, and the project that we're working on is a diesel locomotive. So the company has to, I give the prints to both companies, my concept of the prints. They're allowed to take some creative license with how they build it, as long as they talk to me. But the only person who can talk to me as the customer is the general manager. So they basically have to go through a chain of command. So there's a general manager, operations manager, who has to actually track all of material used, all the material wasted, and all of consumables, what we weld, how much we weld, as well as quality control and inspection. Goes down the line to the fabrication supervisor, who has to report to the operations manager, but they're responsible for making sure and tracking all the blueprints. So if the company comes up with an innovative way of doing something or changing what I had suggested, as long as am presented with that idea, they have to go back to their general manager, who has to come back to me and say, we want to do this. Are you okay with that? I'm yes or no. But they have to document and give blueprints for it, as well as quality inspection as well. Then we get into our fabricators. We have a fabricator and 2 welders assigned to the fabricator, and they're the ones who are building the project. All people in the company are able to work on the project, but as you can see, various roles will take up a lot more of their time, as we have individuals who have to now document everything, and they're going to make a package or print package at the end, as well as operation manager has to give us an overview of how much material was used, how much was. They're actually even tracking employee hours, and they've made up their own cost for how much they're charging. So we'll know how much the job would have cost us in steel and in manpower and hours. Each day they're given new prints that they have to review. So each company has to get together and review the prints that are given to them by the customer. And as the customer, I may or may not be happy with the product and may throw a wrench in it every once in a while. Maybe, probably, most likely. Yes, so then each individual then has to rotate through this role. So the people who are in these positions this week will move to a different position next week. So everybody has an opportunity to have to be able to track man hours, material cost. Each person has to do blueprinting. Each person gets a hand at being a fabricator, being dedicated to just welding. So everybody has to go through the role of being in the company. At the end, hopefully, we will have a very large, 11-foot long by 3 feet high diesel locomotive scale model, which I think would be pretty cool.